We decided to give like good credits and bad credits. So from a movie called Killing Me Softly and Shakespeare in Love, Joseph Fiennes. You may know him, he played the valet in Flintstones' Viva Rock Vegas. And also Harold and Kumar, Star Trek John Cho. Just take a seat. Let's see, you may know him as the gurney pusher in Guiding Light. Also, movies like Hunt for Red October, Law and Order, Courtney B. Vance. By the way, the reason the whole cast isn't here is that we're filming today. Christine Woods, FlashForward. She also played a cocktail waitress in CSI Miami. She wanted you to know. Please come on. Jeff?
Yeah, let's roll. Burning question number one for the producers, kangaroo.
True story, in the 11th hour, got the studio to agree to bring the kangaroo out on stage when we were introducing the cast, and insurance nixed it. But kangaroo will be back.
So kangaroo's a thing.
Kangaroo's a thing. There are a bunch of Easter eggs even in those first two acts. Things that'll, every little micro flash that you saw in Joe's FlashForward is actually a story that's already been planned out, and there were, I don't know, 5 or 6 other Easter eggs kind of hidden throughout.
And I noticed that one of those things on his wall, and this may be too geeky for everyone here, but probably not. D. Gibbons.
Yeah.
Dave Gibbons, Watchmen, is that a shout out there?
Yeah, of course. Obviously, Dave Gibbons is in the show, but there is a D. Gibbons. But yeah, that was a little shout out.
You know, FlashForward is based, I believe, on a book by Robert Sawyer. I'd love to know, David, and for all the producers, if you could just kind of sketch, like, why did you become interested in this material? Why did you want to turn this into a series, and how did you guys come together?
Well, it's based on a novel by Robert Sawyer. It's, I don't know, a decade or so old. And true story, my wife, who was a producer long before she was my wife, she read the book, and she came to me about 8 years ago and said, I think this would be a great movie idea. And I said, oh, I agree. And I don't know, one thing happened and nothing ever came of it. And we got married, and then we moved into a house, and we were unpacking our boxes, and we found the old copy of the paperback, and I had highlighted things that I thought were cool, and I was like, oh yeah, this was really cool. So we started exploring it again. I talked to Brandon, my friend, and we decided it would make for a more interesting TV show than a movie. The big thing in the book is the consciousness shift is like 21 years in the future, and we thought for dramatic purposes it was more interesting if the future were more immediate. So we chose 6 months, and the sort of claim that we're staking is by the end of the first season we're going to catch up to those flash forwards, so all the various visions that you see with our cast members will have come to pass or not. That's part of the fun. And then obviously people say, well, what do you do after those 6 months? We've thought about it.
There's a specific date that we're building up to, right, in the show. It's
April 29th.
April 29th.
Yeah.
And does that happen to correspond with the season finale?
In part, we are airing April 29th, and April 29th is, there's so much story we have to pack in. It's probably going to be broken into 2 episodes, so part of it will actually air on April 29th and part the next week, but then the final couple episodes will probably be April 30th because there's so much crap that happens on April 29th. lot of stuff blows up, we gotta deal with the pieces afterwards.
Mark and Brandon, I'd just love to hear your thoughts. Like, what interested you about the show, and why did you think it would be like a good idea for an ongoing TV series?
Well, what you didn't see yet in the pilot is that every single man, woman, and child on Earth has a vision of the future 6 months from now. And in talking about it initially with David, we were like, that's 6.8 billion potential stories to tell. This is more than a movie, probably.
Yeah, is that how long the series is going to be?
It's going to be 6 seasons. Yes. It's a great syndication package. We just saw a great potential for telling, not just obviously stories with our core group of characters, but a show that could take place all over the world and deal with all sorts of different things.
Yeah, it's like I'd like to go all over the world. I like doing that.
All over the world's going to look a lot like a green screen to you, but.
Spoken like a true producer.
In all seriousness, the show actually will take us all over the world. Even in the first 3 episodes, we go to 3 different countries. And they won't all be green screen work, I promise. But Brian's absolutely right. Every single character, every single person on the planet is a potential character. And every single person's flash forward is a different story. Some will be happy, some will be sad, some will be funny, some will be suspenseful and unexpected. Romantic, yes, musical. A little bit of everything. Some will be animated. So yes, claymation. We actually, joking. I'm really not.
The cool thing is each episode will feature at least one flash forward. There will be obviously the ongoing kind of serialized drama from our lead characters' flash forwards, but we're going to be meeting all these other people, and it's sort of the story possibilities are limitless.
And we'll never show you a flash forward that didn't happen.
Yeah.
I think, having seen the whole pilot, there are a lot of mysteries that are embedded right away in the show going forward. Not spoiling anything about what those are, but moving forward, can you describe kind of like episodes? Are we going to be more of a mystery-driven crypto drama here? Is it more of a human drama? How do you find the right balance of both?
Well, obviously there's an investigation going on that will be driven by Joseph Fiennes' character, who has seen some things in his vision that may hold the key to the mystery. And that's the overarching investigative element of the show, but we're also very, very interested in the human drama of it all. And if you think about if you saw something 6 months from now that was utterly bizarre, yourself in prison inexplicably, or whatever, there's something very interesting about exploring how does that come to be or not come to be? Do you prevent it? Do you pursue it?
Yeah, I think we're going to show you in this later clip sort of upcoming stuff, and there is if you want that kind of muscular mystery procedural aspect, there is that aspect, because one of the cool paradoxes is that Joe's character has seen this investigatory board that you caught a glimpse of all these clues that he's dug up 6 months from now, and he's remembering these things, these future clues, and these are past lead to stories. And every little image that you saw, or that people will DVR and pause on, is actually already been figured out ahead of time. One of the bonuses is that Brandon and I wrote it. We started it before the writer's strike. We wrote the first half, and we wrote the second half 14 months later. So we had a really long time to actually figure everything out and embed everything. But we also hope that people come and watch it for all these crazy human dramas. If you knew 6 months from now that you were going to be with a different person, you're married now, but you're going to be with someone else, would that change? Would you try to seek that person out? Or if you knew you were going to be dead 6 months from now, if you knew you were going to be in a different job, it's really kind of limitless. And really that's where the show will live and breathe, in all those kind of moral quandaries.
Even the quote-unquote procedural scenes, or the investigatory scenes, we always say in the writer's room, our mantra is, this is just another opportunity to illuminate character. This is just another moment, and you'll see, like, even,
later in the pilot and in the second episode, even the stuff that is sort of the the guns and the pyrotechnics, it all is tied into the character drama. So the show is a synthesis of those two things. Really, the show's tone is as wide as its scope, which is worldwide.
And it's also cool because it's not like any show that's ever been on television before, which also scares, but it's fun.